LeBron James felt the familiar weight of silence pressing down on him as Coach Vincent Rodriguez's voice cut through the arena like broken glass. "This isn't high school anymore. Sit down." The words hit him harder than any physical blow, but inside LeBron's mind, something unexpected happened. Instead of crumbling, he felt a strange calmness wash over him. The same feeling he'd experienced as a child when adults would scream about unpaid bills while he sat quietly at the kitchen table, already planning how to help fix things. Rodriguez thought he was crushing an overconfident rookie's spirit, but LeBron's mind was already 3 steps ahead, seeing not just the challenge in front of him, but the broken man behind the anger. In the next 60 seconds, LeBron would show everyone in that arena what true strength looked like and leave Rodriguez staring at a reflection of everything he had failed to become. Before diving into this incredible mental strength story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and share in the comments moments when young talents surprised experienced authorities. Vincent Rodriguez was one of the harshest coaches in the NBA. For 30 years, he had tested countless young players with psychological pressure, believing that breaking them down was the only way to build champions. The method came from trauma. 22 years ago, he had coached a promising rookie named Marcus Williams. During a crucial playoff timeout, Rodriguez had unleashed his fury. "You're soft. You're weak. Champions don't cry." Williams's spirit visibly crumbled. After the game, Williams approached Rodriguez with tears streaming. "Coach, why do you hate me?" "I just want to make you proud." Those words would haunt Rodriguez for decades. Williams left basketball within 2 years, his dreams buried under the weight of that moment. Rodriguez convinced himself it was necessary, that Williams simply wasn't strong enough for greatness. But late at night, he wondered if he had destroyed something beautiful instead of forging something strong. Each harsh lesson since had been his attempt to justify that original sin. In the fourth quarter of Finals Game 7, with Cleveland down by 8, Rodriguez saw destiny calling. 18-year-old LeBron James had been carrying his team magnificently. 25 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, but Rodriguez needed to see if this kid would shatter like Marcus had. This wasn't just about basketball anymore. This was about Rodriguez's entire legacy. As the timeout began, Rodriguez called LeBron to center court. "James, get over here," he barked. LeBron walked calmly toward his coach, each step measured and deliberate. His face showed no fear, no anxiety. This composure felt like defiance to a man who had built his reputation on reading weakness in young faces. Inside LeBron's mind, survival instincts honed by years of instability kicked into overdrive. He remembered being 7 years old, sitting in their broken-down car while his mother cried over another eviction notice. Even then, he had learned to read the emotional weather of adults. Anger usually masked fear, shouting often covered helplessness. His mother had taught him a mantra: "Baby, hurt people, but healed people heal people. When someone attacks you, ask yourself what's hurting inside them." But LeBron's calm wasn't just from childhood wisdom. It came from something deeper. 2 years earlier, during a crucial high school game, he had missed 3 free throws in a row, while the crowd booed mercilessly. Instead of crumbling, LeBron had made a decision that would define his character forever. He asked for the ball on the very next possession. That night taught him that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to keep going despite the fear. As Rodriguez began his assault, LeBron's internal voice activated that hard-earned wisdom. This wasn't about basketball. This was about a man trying to prove something to himself. "You've made 2 critical mistakes in the last 4 minutes," Rodriguez announced, his voice sharp enough to cut glass. "You turned the ball over trying to make a flashy pass. You missed an open 3-pointer that any real star would drain. At this level, such mistakes are absolutely unacceptable." The arena held its collective breath as 20,000 people watched this public execution unfold. LeBron absorbed every word. but his mind was calculating rather than cowering. He could see the desperation in Rodriguez's eyes, the trembling hands with suppressed emotion. This man wasn't angry at LeBron. He was terrified of his own failures, projecting decades of guilt onto an 18-year-old. In that moment, LeBron felt something unexpected: compassion. This coach was more afraid than he was. Rodriguez watched LeBron's face for the telltale signs he knew so well: the flinching, the downcast eyes, the trembling lip. Marcus Williams had shown all of them. But LeBron stood perfectly still, his gaze steady and disturbingly calm. Worse yet, Rodriguez thought he saw something that made his stomach drop. Pity. This kid was looking at him with pity. "You're the youngest player on this court, and frankly, it shows," Rodriguez continued, his voice turning venomous. "You're making panic decisions under pressure. This team is losing because of your inexperience, your arrogance." Each word was calculated to wound, chosen from an arsenal of psychological weapons Rodriguez had sharpened over 3 decades. The arena had gone silent. Television cameras zoomed in on both faces, the angry coach and the eerily calm teenager. In the broadcast booth, ESPN's Mike Breen whispered urgently, "I've never seen a coach publicly attack a player like this during the finals. This is either genius motivation or the end of Rodriguez's career." Rodriguez felt the familiar rush of power as he prepared his knockout blow. He stepped directly into LeBron's personal space and pointed his finger like a weapon at LeBron's chest. "Listen to me very carefully, kid. This isn't some high school gymnasium where mommy and daddy cheer from the bleachers. This is the NBA Finals, and champions are forged in moments like this, so either step up or sit down." The silence that followed was so complete, it felt like the entire building had stopped breathing. Rodriguez expected the breakdown he'd orchestrated dozens of times: defensive anger, wounded tears, or submissive collapse. Instead, LeBron did something that would haunt Rodriguez's dreams and change both their lives forever. LeBron stood up slowly, deliberately, with the fluid grace of someone much older. He walked toward his coach with measured steps, never breaking eye contact. When he stopped, his voice carried to every corner of the arena, but more importantly, it carried a tone Rodriguez had never heard before in this situation: genuine respect mixed with unshakable confidence. "Coach Rodriguez," LeBron said, his words clear and powerful, "you're absolutely right about something important. I am the youngest player on this team. I am 18 years old, and I have never been in a situation exactly like this before." Rodriguez felt his breath catch. "But you know what I've learned in my 18 years? Age is just a number on a birth certificate. What defines us isn't how long we've been alive. It's how we choose to respond when everything we care about is on the line." In LeBron's mind, images flashed: his mother working 3 jobs, homework by candlelight when the electricity was cut, moving from house to house with belongings in garbage bags. But also, the first time he dunked in a real game, the moment he realized he could actually make it to the NBA, the promise he made to his mother that their struggles would be worth something beautiful. "You mentioned my 2 mistakes," LeBron continued, turning slightly to include his teammates. "Coach is absolutely right. I turned the ball over on that pass. I missed a 3-pointer I've made thousands of times in practice, but those mistakes taught me something valuable. They showed me exactly what adjustments I need to make in the next 8 minutes." Rodriguez watched in stunned amazement as LeBron transformed the attack into a teaching moment. This wasn't just emotional control. This was leadership emerging under fire. But what shook Rodriguez most was that LeBron wasn't fighting back or defending himself. He was acknowledging the criticism and using it as fuel. "We have 8 minutes left in this game," LeBron said, his voice gaining strength with each word. 8 minutes to show everyone in this building, everyone watching at home, and most importantly, ourselves, what we're truly made of. He looked directly at Rodriguez, and the coach saw something in those young eyes that made his chest tighten. Coach Rodriguez, thank you for holding me accountable. You haven't broken me down. You've given me a chance to show who I really am when the pressure is at its highest. Rodriguez's mind reeled as 30 years of coaching philosophy crumbled before his eyes. This kid had just turned psychological warfare into motivation, humiliation into empowerment. But more than that, LeBron had done something Rodriguez had never experienced. He had responded to cruelty with grace, to attack with gratitude, to hatred with understanding. When they returned to the court, LeBron orchestrated basketball poetry. With 6:45 remaining, he noticed the opposing team's center favoring his right knee after a hard collision. Instead of attacking immediately, LeBron called an audible that forced the big man to slide left, then delivered a perfectly timed bounce pass for an easy score. Rodriguez noticed how LeBron encouraged his teammate after the score, how he pointed to the passer who had set up the play, how he made everyone around him better simply by being who he was. It was the same grace he had shown Rodriguez, meeting aggression with dignity, responding to attempts at humiliation with class. With 4:23 remaining, LeBron intercepted a pass and had a clear breakaway. Instead of the highlight reel dunk everyone expected, he slowed down, waited for his teammate to catch up, and created an assist that brought the entire bench to its feet. In that moment, Rodriguez realized he was witnessing something he had never seen before, a player who was more interested in elevating others than elevating himself. In the stands, fans began chanting, "That's our leader." Signs appeared, 18 and fearless, and pressure makes diamonds. The energy had completely transformed, and Rodriguez realized that LeBron hadn't just changed the game. He had changed the entire atmosphere in the building from toxic to inspiring. With 2:47 left, LeBron made the play that would be studied for decades. Cleveland was down by 1 when the opposing star drew a flagrant foul. As the arena held its breath, LeBron walked over to the fouled player and said something that changed the man's expression completely. Later, that player would reveal LeBron had said, "Great players bring out the best in each other. Let's give these fans a finish they'll never forget." The final buzzer sounded with Cleveland winning 89-84, completing an impossible comeback. But Rodriguez knew this was about more than basketball. He had just witnessed a masterclass in character, in leadership, in what it meant to be truly strong. LeBron found Rodriguez immediately. "Coach, thank you for testing me tonight. That test revealed something I didn't even know I had inside me." Rodriguez's eyes filled with tears. "LeBron, I spent 3 decades thinking I needed to break players to make them great. You just showed me that the truly great ones can't be broken. They can only be revealed under pressure." Rodriguez pulled LeBron aside. "Son, I need to tell you something. 22 years ago, I did to another young player exactly what I tried to do to you. His name was Marcus Williams, and he had your talent, your potential. But when I unleashed my anger on him, he broke completely. He left basketball, left his dreams. For 2 decades, I convinced myself it was his weakness. Watching you tonight, I finally understand. It was my cruelty that broke something beautiful." LeBron's response would stay with Rodriguez forever. "Coach, maybe this moment happened so you could learn to build people up instead of tearing them down. Maybe the strength I found tonight can help heal what happened to Marcus. But more than that, maybe Marcus's story can help other young players who are facing what I faced tonight." In the locker room, LeBron found a quiet corner and made the call he'd been waiting for. "Mom," he said softly, emotion finally surfacing. "Baby." "I watched every single second," Gloria James replied, her voice thick with pride. "When that coach was screaming at you, I saw you as that 7-year-old boy sitting at our kitchen table, staying calm while the world fell apart around us. But tonight, I also saw the man you've become. Someone who can turn pain into power, hatred into healing." "Mom, remember what you used to tell me when people tried to convince me I wasn't good enough?" LeBron asked, his voice cracking. You'd say that the strongest people aren't the ones who never fall down, but the ones who help others stand up. Tonight I got to live that lesson in front of the whole world. You did something bigger than basketball tonight, son, Gloria continued. You showed millions of people what grace looks like under fire. That coach tried to make you small, but instead you made everyone around you bigger. Rodriguez, who had been nearby, approached after LeBron hung up. That's where it comes from, isn't it? That wisdom, that unshakable strength, it all comes from her. LeBron nodded. She taught me that when someone tries to tear you down, it usually says more about their pain than your worth. Tonight, Coach, we both learned something important. Rodriguez addressed the team one final time. Tonight, we witnessed something extraordinary that will change how I coach forever. We didn't just win a championship, we learned what true leadership looks like. LeBron showed us that real strength isn't about surviving attacks, it's about transforming them into wisdom. Point guard Marcus Thompson spoke for the team. Rook, you didn't just earn our respect tonight. You taught us what respect really means. The way you handled that pressure, that's something we'll carry forever. Years later, Rodriguez would completely revolutionize his coaching philosophy, becoming known as a builder of confidence rather than a destroyer of egos. He would establish the Marcus Williams Foundation for young athletes damaged by harsh coaching. In interviews, he would say, "That night, an 18-year-old taught me what I'd spent 30 years failing to understand. True leadership isn't about being the strongest voice in the room. It's about making everyone else's voice stronger." LeBron didn't just change the game. He changed my life. And through that change, he changed every player I coached afterward. The story became legendary not for the basketball comeback, but for the moment when a teenager showed a veteran coach that the greatest victories come not from breaking others down, but from building them up, even when they're trying to tear you down. If you enjoyed this incredible story of mental strength and leadership transformation, don't forget to hit that like button. For more content about these life-changing basketball moments, subscribe to our channel. Share in the comments your own experiences with pressure revealing your true character.